If you don't have obsession, you don't have anything. You can be the smartest person in the fucking world, and that's probably going to really hold you back, because you can be so smart and still not be able to see your own blind spots and to see where you are giving up before you even started.
Welcome to Did I Stutter with Jill Perick. And yeah, I probably did because I have a stuttering disability. But I'm also a multiple six-figure business and mindset coach who's here to help you shut down the mindfuckery of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and playing the nice girl in your content so you and your brand can blow the fuck up and so you can stack the motherfucking cash. I'm holding absolutely nothing back. We're talking marketing, messaging, mindset, subconscious healing, nervous system regulation, and how to do it all even with raging anxiety, ADHD, and just being a fucking human. If fuck is one of your favorite words and nothing can get in between you, your iced coffee, or the work that you're here to do, I'm your girl. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the pod, you guys. But before we dive into today's episode, we're going to talk about how you're smart as fuck, but that's probably not what's going to make you a fuck ton of money, okay? But listen, I would be remiss if I did not invite you to join the Real Deal Mastermind, okay? Because you're already smart, you're already experienced, you're already good at what you do, but you're still not making the money that you know that you're capable of. And your income is a roller coaster. You've had high months, you've had low months, and you're no stranger to investing in yourself. And because of it, you know there isn't an answer to success. There's only you and how you move. But now you know that you need activation, not just fucking information, not just content and help with content and blah, 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 blah. And the Real Deal Mastermind is where you become the woman who actually executes at the level that she says that she wants. We're working on the parts of you that still worry that you're going to offend somebody before you upload your posts. The parts of you that throw a bucket of water on your message so nobody gets uncomfortable. The parts that secretly doubt whether you can hold more visibility, more money, more responsibility. And then we pair that with simple, high-level strategy that actually scales you into 10K to 20K cash months. We have weekly hot seat coaching calls where you get coached, you make quick decisions, and you feel fired up and ready to execute immediately after. If you join VIP, we have a channel where I rip apart your content and help you build the courage to speak directly to your dreamiest clients. And you also get coaching support between calls when you're spiraling so you don't waste 3 weeks in your own fucking head, right? So you move faster. And there's a curriculum, there's courses, there's monthly mini programs to activate you over and over again into your next level and gives you the tools to create better content, land more sales conversions, and scale into consistent 10K to 20K cash months. This is for the woman who is done playing at being almost there. She needs proximity and she needs leadership. She needs to be in a room where mediocrity isn't tolerated, her excuses aren't gonna fucking survive at all, and where she rises into the standards that she knows she can meet. And when you're ready to step into consistently higher cash months, the dreamiest dream clients, and the kind of conviction and confidence that makes you one of one in this industry to the point where you actually believe that, the Real Deal Mastermind is for you. Send me a DM at Your Coach Jill. When you join for 12 months. There is a standard tier and there is a VIP tier. And again, you can see all of the details at the link in my show notes, or you can send me a DM at Your Coach Jill and start the conversation. Now, let's dive into today's episode, because something that I said in there is how, like, you're already smart, you're already experienced. And here's the thing, is you did come into running a business, starting a business, just because you're smart, okay? I'm very smart, and I've always gotten really good grades despite having raging ADHD, and with those good grades came a ton of anxiety. I felt so much relief when I was finished school forever. Now, because I like pain, I'm thinking about in the future potentially doing a secondary master's degree, but I digress. Why would I do that to myself? But I'm a smart person, and everybody that runs a business is a smart person. You can't run a business without being smart, but being smart is like not the actual thing. that's going to make you a lot of money, because money doesn't reward intellect. And I think people have this all wrong, because there's a shock that comes with entrepreneurship, right? Like there's no plan, there's no outline, there's no fucking gold stars, there's no somebody validating you, because the market doesn't care how intelligent you are. And even your potential clients don't care how smart you are. And this can be jarring. If you are somebody who has always identified as being the smart one, and then you come into entrepreneurship that is all about trial and error and figuring things the fuck out and probably being bad at things and fucking failing and falling on your face over and over and over again. And again, it's jarring to your identity, because for the longest time, you've been good at things. For the longest time, you've been the smartest bitch in the room. But again, money doesn't reward intellect. And that is why you look all over the industry and you're thinking to yourself, okay, this person is literally making so much money, and I think that they're a dumb bitch. Or this person seems to be doing really, really well, but I joined like a smaller offers of theirs, and like the shit she was saying was so basic, right? And you're going to get so caught up in this, and it's because of the underlying belief that because you're smart or you're smarter or you're more talented, this should be easier for you. But again, entrepreneurship is fucking jarring. It's jarring because it is more so about courage, emotional resilience, repetition, and fucking visibility. And these are things that, again, require insane levels of self-belief, delusional self-belief, illogical self-belief, and the ability to be relentless and to keep going no matter how many times you fall on your face, and obsession with the work that you're doing. And I have been in this game for a while. Back in January, I celebrated 8 years having a business, and I really didn't like start coming online and start like posting online on social media. I like mainly had like a site, and I started my podcast in the summer of 2018. But I started really posting online consistently, I would say in like 2019, and like really consistently in 2020. And this was something that I had to realize, but also as I coached more and more people, especially people that said, I want to start a business, but then I would be so surprised because they were not making the time for it, and they would drop it if anything else happened in their life. And then they would come in and they would have so much shame, and they would have all these thoughts, and I would be like, don't you want it bad enough? Because that's the fucking truth, is like, there is nothing that could happen to me inside of this business, and things have fucking happened. I have been at rock bottom. I have dealt with like really shitty client experiences. I have dealt with really shitty investments and like coaches who I put on a pedestal and I thought were incredible, and they actually disappointed me so much. I have dealt with looking in the mirror and being like, where am I not living up to the expectations I have of myself, right? Because entrepreneurship is just a bunch of fucking shadow work. It really is. And I have been and have experienced like the worst of the worst. And I'm sure there's going to be more. Like, I'm positive, like, as I scale and as I grow, there are going to be more and more things. And I would do it 1,000 times over to have the business that I have, to be able to get up in the morning, have a slow ass morning, or get up early and go to hot yoga and do Instagram stories and spend time working out and spend time with my husband, spend time with my dogs. They're literally never home alone ever because of me. And go on vacation whenever I want, right? We're gearing up to head to Europe in May, and, you know, we're also gearing up to start a family at some point this year. I'm obviously not going to say everything about that, but like these are things that require me to be here and have that freedom. I would do this 10 times over. And also, I work so incredibly hard, and there is nothing inside of me that keeps tally of that. In the 8 years I've had a business, I have not tallied up how many hours I've spent on the business a week. And it's crazy insane to me when people are like, well, I don't know if this is going to work out, or I don't want to put so much work into this and not see a result. And I'm like, then you're in the wrong fucking game, because that's what being an entrepreneur is like putting in the work, even if there's a chance you're going to fall on your fucking face and it's going to flop, because you're obsessed with it. You're obsessed with not just being an entrepreneur, but also the actual work that you're doing. I'm obsessed with coaching my clients. I love coaching my clients. I love being in Telegram and answering questions and I love this work. And I think we're coming out of that soft girl era, and we have been over the past year or so, where like people are expecting to do the bare fucking minimum and get a big result. I don't want to work with clients who think that you don't have to work fucking hard. And working hard does not mean being dysregulated or being out of alignment, because burnout is caused by being out of alignment and doing things that go against your core purpose. It's kind of like if we were to take the example of having children, and I don't have any yet, but there's a lot of work involved with keeping your kids alive, doing things with them, playing with them, teaching them things, taking them to the park, like all of these things. You're not doing it just because you choose to, but because you're obsessed with your kids. You care about your kids and their development and how they're being raised, and like overall you're doing it for them. And there's a deep desire to do it, even if the actual act seems ridiculous. So for example, like, I don't know, putting on something like Miss Rachel, or like teaching them how to say a word, or being ridiculous with them. When I was in Alberta visiting my 1-year-old nephew, there was a time one evening where I was just like crawling on the ground, screaming, chasing him. He was chasing me. He was having the time of his life. He was fucking laughing so hard. He was having such a good time. And I'm not doing that because I enjoy crawling around on the ground, or because I have like better things that I could be doing with my time. I'm doing it because he's having a great time. I'm enjoying the time with him. I'm spending time with him because he's important to me, because I'm obsessed with him. Like, he's the cutest. I'm obsessed with him. And the same thing goes for your business. Like, I'm obsessed with the actual act of doing things for the business. It's not always fucking easy. It's not always something that I'm like truly enjoying doing, but I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. And I'm obsessed with the work that I'm doing. And if you don't have obsession, you don't have anything. You can be the smartest person in the fucking world, and that's probably going to really hold you back, because you can be so smart and still not be able to see your own blind spots and to see where you are giving up before you even started, or where you're talking yourself out of doing things that you just need to do, or where you're hesitating because you're thinking of all the possible scenarios that can come true from your action that you haven't even taken yet. Sometimes the stupidest people are ones that can be the most successful, because they are less risk adverse, and they're actually going to just do something and not always be thinking about the repercussions. Now, as somebody who has ADHD, this happens for me sometimes, is I sometimes have an inability to look too far into the future. So if it's not happening right now, it doesn't exist for me. And this can sometimes be really good for just fucking taking action and being relentless? And how is your intelligence being a hindrance to you? And how are you overthinking the fuck out of everything when actually you just need to fucking move? And you need to stop thinking about all the repercussions that could come from taking this one action. And you need to be obsessed. You need to be so obsessed with this work. You need to be so obsessed with your clients and your potential clients. You need to be so obsessed with personal development, with becoming a different fucking version of yourself every single day. And that is what truly drives me. And of course, I'm thinking about, okay, I may have to work really hard. I may have to exercise creativity more often than the average person. I don't have the luxury of turning off different parts of my brain. But there are so many incredible things about running my own business and getting this fucking freedom, the financial freedom, the time freedom, the freedom that I can say whatever the fuck I want and do whatever the fuck I want, and I will take everything else with a grain of salt, and I will take everything else in stride, because there is nothing that's going to slow you down more than asking yourself, is this worth it? Is this going to be worth it? What is this decision going to do here? Because you're going to fuck up. You're going to fuck up. You're going to fail. You're going to fall on your face. Your launch is going to flop. You're going to invest in the wrong person. You're going to have a client default on you. You're going to have experiences that you're like, this is really fucking difficult. As I grow and as I get bigger and scale more, there are more really like intricate things about running a business that are uncomfortable and that I have to learn how to work through. And I'm also like excited at the same time because it's growing me into a really resilient person and a person who can grow a multiple 6-figure, 7-figure company. And like, you don't get there by being the person that you are right now. You're going to change. You're going to evolve. And when you kind of take off the hat of being the intellectual one, the smart one, the calculated one, and instead lean into obsession and virality and excitement and desire and just moving and taking risks and being visible and having courage, you will make so much more fucking money. I hope this landed for you today. Send me a DM at Your Coach Jill when you are ready to talk about joining the Real Deal Mastermind or a 30-day sprint or my one-to-one coaching. Okay? I love you guys so much. I'll see you in March.